Okay, family. M.A. Truth back again. I got something that I really wanted to share with you. Many of us are finding out about our indigenous heritage. Some of us have already known. We get information from our grandparents and great-grandparents, those who are lucky enough to have known them, and the stories have been handed down. The fact of the matter is that the greater majority of us, so-called Negroes, are not descendants of those from the continent of Africa or Syria, whatever you want to call it. We're not from there. We were already here. So with that in mind, there's a lot of testing, DNA testing and things of this nature that are going on that is supposedly to help us know who we are and where we come from and blah, 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 blah. Problem with that is, as usual, you can't trust the ones that are getting this information. You can't trust them. I'm telling you, you can't trust them. We know that these people lie. They have lied. They lied from the day that they set their foot on this continent. And with that in mind, like I said, let me share this with you. But if you want to know anything about yourself, do your research on your own. Don't trust that DNA bullshit. They're collecting that information, collecting our samples, those that they're freely giving. And they're using it against you one way or another. You'll never know how. You'll never really know why. But fact is, they're going to use that information against you. So this is a clip from what they call An American Deception. It's a mother and her son, and they are indigenous people, and they speak on a lot of the history of our indigenous culture. And in this particular one, they're specifically talking about DNA testing, the new one-drop rule. You know what really gets me? How these people gonna tell you who you are? You don't know nothing about me. You don't know nothing about my people. You don't know nothing about who made you the expert. I'm just asking the question. Who made y'all the expert? So with that in mind, let us try to move on and check out this video.
Greetings and welcome to An American Deception. I'm your host, Red Tail Hawk, also known as Tavis Sanders. Would like to welcome our co-host, Red Silver Fox, also known as Renee Sanders.
Greetings, everyone.
I know it's been a while, but we have a couple of things lined up for y'all. If you are a subscriber to our YouTube page, then you'll have noticed that over the past few months, we've started a new series entitled Moments, where my mother gives a lot of information on specific moments in history that we would like to talk about, discuss, or even maybe just point out. So, if you're not, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can check those out. And we have a couple more shows coming out for you. Today's topic is DNA, the new one-drop rule.
Okay, let's get started.
Yeah. Speaking of DNA, again, we like to welcome my mother, Renee Silver Fox. Me and her, we were discussing this, and we found some real interesting information. We're not scientists, and we want to make sure that y'all understand that first.
But we had run across this information, and we just thought it was important information to pass on to everyone.
Yeah. So, you'll be able to find this information everywhere, but it's very important, and I don't think that a lot of people know this information, especially from the topics of conversation that have been on the YouTube channels and some of the emails that we've been getting, and some of the questions. A lot of people have questions about this DNA testing and how it relates to your ancestry.
Yes.
So we figured, hey, let's, share some information with people. Let's talk about it. We're talking about DNA, and specifically the DNA and genetic ancestry testing.
It is, yes, which is a different type of testing.
Right.
Using the DNA. There's several types of testing.
Mm-hmm.
And then really, as far as the genetic testing is concerned, there are 3 types of genetic testing. But well, let's first just discuss what the genetic testing is.
Okay. Okay.
And according to Genetics Home Reference, which is a service of the United States National Library of Medicine, and they say that genetic testing or genetic genealogy is a way for people interested in family history or their genealogy to go beyond what they can learn from relatives or from historical documentation.
Okay.
So that is what they say that genetic testing is.
Okay. So they saying that you can use it to find more information, and you might, some information you may not have been able to find in government documents.
Yes, that's
birth
correct.
certificates and stuff like that.
And also what you may not have heard from relatives.
Okay.
Or maybe something to confirm what you have heard from relatives.
Okay. Okay. So they gonna tell us the truth.
Well, that's what people think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna see. Let's see how much truth is coming out of these DNA testing.
Right. Okay. But first of all, there are 3 different types of genetic testing.
Okay.
And well, really, it's basically 2 different types. But the third type is a type that they use from one of the types. So I'll just explain those. Okay. One type of testing is just the Y chromosome testing, and the Y chromosome testing is when they use what the chromosomes that have been passed exclusively from father to son.
Okay. So they're testing your father's side.
The father's side of the family.
Okay.
So females will not be able to do this. They would have to get
A different test, because
Yes.
we'll get to that test next.
Yes.
Okay.
Then you have mitochondrial DNA testing.
Right. Okay.
And the mitochondrial DNA testing, it provides information on the direct female ancestral line.
Okay.
So this tests the female side. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is interesting though is that men do carry the mitochondrial DNA, but they do not pass it on to to their offspring. So a male can do a mitochondrial DNA testing along with the females.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, so both male and female can do the mitochondrial testing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's just that the males do not pass that on to their
To the next train.
Right.
To the next generation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's only transferred through the mother.
through the mother.
All right, and then-
in the female line.
All right. And so pause. So we have 2 testing. We have the Y test and the mitochondrial test.
Which is the X test.
Which is the X test. Okay, so the Y test and the X test.
Right.
One test for male and one test for the female.
Right. That's
And then we have the 3rd test.
the third test, which is called single nucleotide polymorphism.
Okay. All right.
And it's also, they call it S&P testing.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And this testing, it says it is to provide an estimate of a person's ethnic background by observing ancestral markers or mutations, which are little changes that occur in the genetic code of the mitochondrial DNA.
Okay.
The DNA sequence is
Okay.
is concerned.
All right. And so let's backtrack before we continue. So in 1980, Cambridge University,
1981.
1981, 82, they published the DNA sequence from a placenta donated by a European male. Well,
The mother.
I'm sure the European male they donated
Right.
placenta, but nonetheless, they sequenced it, and now we have a DNA of a legit DNA pattern. We have the whole sequence here,
Right.
and it's called the CRS, or Cambridge Reference Sequence.
Right.
And now we have the R, which is the revised.
The revised.
Nonetheless, this sequence here.
Yes.
Now,
And this sequence is now what they call ground zero.
ground zero. Okay.
Right. And it is the DNA, that is the DNA that all DNA is compared to.
Okay. So let's pause for a minute because that matters.
Oh,
That,
yes.
it matters deeply. Now, and so we're not. So what we're saying is that someone that was born in 1981, right around 1980s, DNA was sequenced, and this is the reference sequence that we compare everybody else's DNA to.
Yes.
So we don't compare it to, as I've heard some say, Lucy
Right.
or mitochondrial Eve. We don't compare it to anything beyond 1980. It starts at 1981 with that Cambridge reference sequence.
Now, you hear how stupid that sounds. I mean, they're just reporting the truth. But that's jacked up, y'all. That's just seriously jacked up. I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to put a link to this in the comment section so that you can finish watching this on your own, because my hands is getting tired of holding this phone. Pray for your sister. I get me a camera soon. But anyway, this is, hey, got to check it out for yourself, people. Got to check it out. Anyway, M.A. Truth. Holla at you.